Hey, thanks for tuning in. So nice to see so many new members joining the group. And I'll tell you, you never realize how silly your hair looks until you do a live stream and you're looking at your own face in a camera on your phone. It is just weird. Anyway, fluffy hair notwithstanding, I wanted to welcome all you guys to the group. Thank you so much for being here. It means a lot. It really means a lot to me. And I am committed to making sure that you get a lot out of it too. So, the welcome part has now been taken care of. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You guys, this group will be hopefully your go-to resource for all things powerful, effective, persuasive communication. As I've said a few times in the posts, this month I'm focusing on storytelling because I've got a storytelling challenge coming up. And if you haven't registered for that, please feel free to register for it. I'd love to see all of you in there. That would be terrific. Hey, Martin, how are you, my friend? See, Martin just joined us. Anyway, if you haven't registered for the challenge, register for it. It's where I can dive deep with you over 5 days into the 5 essential pieces of telling a good story. So let's back up here just a little bit and let's clarify the difference between most of what's out there in the world today, especially the online space. When people say storytelling, what are they mostly talking about, and how is what I've got for you guys different? So, most of the storytelling guides, the storytelling programs, the storytelling sort of courses and things like that, they tend to be a little superficial, right? In other words, they teach you how to start your story, how to build the tension, how to draw from events in your life that are relevant to who and what you do now, and how to end the story. Now, I'm painting with a broad brush when I say that, and I have not explored every storytelling course, opportunity, class, group out there, but here's what I can tell. I can tell when I see people telling their stories that they're missing something. And so wherever they learned to tell those stories, they learned it from somebody who was not teaching them something, or they didn't get it when it was being taught. So there are some deeper principles that are being missed. Those are exactly what I teach you guys. Those are exactly what I've got for you. So I would argue that when we tell our brand story, our core story, the story that tells people out in the world who we are, what we do, why we do it, and why we're qualified to do it, right? That's a brand story or a core story. One of the key pieces that we have to be able to do, we have to successfully get this piece, is we have to be able to share very unique pieces of our life, and we have to share them in such a way that people who have not had the same experiences as us can relate to them emotionally. So, another subheading here. We can relate on different levels, and most stories get us to relate intellectually. This is not what you want. This is not desirable, because intellectually does not create emotional connection. You need to be able to craft your story in such a way that people can relate to it emotionally. I hope that makes sense to you guys. And I'm going to show you how to do that. It's a method that I call revealing universals through your specifics. It's day 4 of the challenge. Revealing universals through your specifics. It is the biggest concept in the challenge. It is the hardest for most people, and it pays off the most. It has the biggest impact on others. And so, in a nutshell, what we're going to be covering in that challenge, 5 days. Hey, Martin, thank you. First day, we're going to talk about structure a little bit, because structure is important. Otherwise, it's just, you run the risk of just creating a series of directionless anecdotes. Day 2, we're going to talk about how to create tension and release. Now, I will tell you, There are ways to create tension and release that most people miss, even those who know how to do it. Hey, Chris, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. So day 2, we're going to talk about tension and release. And when you speak your story rather than write it, tension and release comes as much from your body language and your voice as it does from your content. It comes from your rhetorical devices as much as it does from the thrust of what it is you're trying to say. So we need to be aware of tension and release. The next one is going to be, how do we offer rich detail? Now, what do I mean when I say rich detail? Well, that's a question we're going to answer in the challenge, but I will tantalize you by saying there's detail, and then there's detail that evokes the senses. When detail evokes the senses, it bypasses the executive functions of the brain, and it connects to the emotion and to the imagination. And you must do this. You must connect to those in order to create a story that people can sort of step into, right? It's like painting a picture that people can walk into. For those of you that remember, think about the classic scene in Mary Poppins where they jump into the street paintings. That's what we need, okay? So then is the next one, day 4, is reveal universals through the specifics of your life. Big, huge, possibly the biggest piece of the challenge. And then day 5 is how to be yourself. I want to shy away from the word authenticity, although that might be what you'd call it. Instead, I want to focus more on transparency and vulnerability. How do we show up in our story with transparency and vulnerability? Well, I'm going to show you. So I'm going to take you through all of these things, and I think that you can see, based on the descriptions I've given you, that this is deep. This is deeper than, frankly, it's deeper than anything else I've seen. It's not to say there isn't other stuff out there that is, takes it to this level of the principles of why it works, but I have yet to see it. So, again, a big welcome to you guys. So glad you're in the group. I will keep providing you with as much value as I can, guidance, insight, and the call to action here on this video is please register for the challenge. If you don't know how or where to register, ask in the group. Myself or somebody else will guide you. We'll get you in there, and it's going to be great. It's going to be powerful. It's going to change the way you think about communication and storytelling. And what else is there, right? Okay, thanks so much, you guys. I will see you around the water cooler, as the saying goes, and have a great day.